how to rise, acquire, and lead when stakes are high. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Futurist Mindset Show. My name is Tessa, and I'm here to introduce you to Reagan Rodriguez. Reagan is a futurist who teaches stratosphere wealthy legacy families how to become impact investors. Hi, Reagan. How are you?
I am doing better than I deserve, Tessa. How about yourself?
The same. I'm doing wonderful, and I'm excited to hear about this topic with you. So I'll let you dive in.
Sure. I'll get started here. So, life, what I've noticed in the open market, was never designed to be a smooth, uninterrupted path of comfort. And the sooner you accept that reality, then the sooner you can then step into that world of power, leverage, and ownership that the Fifth Avenue Underground Club represents. I've noticed that there is this dangerous illusion out there. It is, we'll call it a lie, and it says that the good life is built without friction, without setbacks, and without risk. And that's what I refer to is the thinking of the masses. And let's think about, what is the masses? They're spectators. They're not owners. Inside the Underground Club, we play a much different game. Why? Because we know that every challenge, every loss, maybe betrayal, failed deal, or let's call it a sleepless night, it's not an accident. It's the process. It's the forge where real deal makers are created. And without those moments, I've noticed that then you don't develop the precision, the emotional stamina, or maybe that vision to command the table, right? I was asked yesterday, just reminded me in an email, why is it that most people say stuck when the average person then deal with difficulty? And I think it's because they fall into weak questions. They'll ask themselves, why me? Why, what did I do to deserve this? And those are questions that are going to keep you small. I'm going to recommend you flip that. In the club, we ask, what advantage did this create for me? What strength is being forged right now that maybe my competitors won't have? Because here's the reality, guys. The people that you respect in business, those that have that unshakable presence in that negotiation, they didn't get there about just reading deals in a book. They walked through fire. They took calculated risks, and then they acquired and adapted. Every time that you resist the temptation to play it safe, here's what I've noticed. You build that mental capacity that no bank can lend you. Okay, so you might ask, what is that underground rule of growth? Well, you're not going to grow stronger by avoiding the acquisition game. You're going to grow by stepping into that arena, even when those terms aren't perfect, even when your kind of pulse is up, or maybe even when you're learning on the fly. What I've noticed is every deal, every pitch, every negotiation is training. That's how I look at it. The way the marketplace stretches you beyond what you thought you could hold. And when you have that discomfort, I've noticed that's not my enemy. That is proof that you're building leverage. And leverage is the currency of the underground. I also want to talk to you about preparing before that storm, because I think too many people wait until that deal collapses or when an investor walks before they think of that resilience. Look, all that's like trying to learn to swim while you're already underwater. Okay, I'm going to train you before that chaos. In the club, we do it in the same way that elite hedge fund managers train. Do it by rehearsing mentally before that mission begins. So when that pressure comes, your response should be automatic because you've lived it in the drills, in the tests, in smaller plays. And now when the stakes are seven figures, you execute without blinking. I can answer it best by just look at my wallpaper in my office here behind me. Chess. I want you to think 5 moves ahead to be prepared for that storm. So how do we control the uncontrollable things? Most entrepreneurs burn themselves out by obsessing over variables that they can't influence, whether it's an interest rate, competitor, gossip, politics. Look, inside the club, guys, I'm going to teach you to cut that noise and fix your attention on what can actually move the deal forward, which is your strategy, your terms, your positioning, and your network. And most importantly, your mindset under fire. You cannot control the market, but you can control how you structure your offers, how you negotiate, and how you insulate your deals from collapse. I'm going to teach you how to turn setbacks into acquisition fuel. Oh, that just reminded me, Ray Dalio is probably ranked as the #1 hedge funder. He founded Bridgewater Associates back in 1975 in his apartment. And years ago, I attended the seminar at the Four Seasons. And on the second day, who walks into the same elevator but Ray Dalio? And I asked him, so what's the secret? And he said, pain plus reflection equals progress. And interestingly enough, I still remember the title of his presentation that day. It was titled Fail Well and Fail Forward. So let me say his words a little differently, paraphrase it differently. You know, the pain plus reflection equals progress. I like to call it pain is raw energy. What I've noticed is that most people, they waste it on complaining or blaming. And what I'm going to teach you is to turn that energy into acceleration. So you lost an investor. Okay, then let's just replace it with 2 better ones. So you got rejected on a deal. I want you to reposition that offer so they feel that it's their idea. If you're currently dealing with a financial hit, okay, hey, I've been there. Now let's use it as the proof point to negotiate more favorable seller financing. What you're going to do is your scars are going to become your resume. I want you to guard your environment like a fortress. If your inner circle isn't wired for discipline, ownership, or high stakes thinking, then they are deluding you. Weak thinking is contagious, but so is strength. And inside the underground, we're going to connect you only with people that are going to hold the line, partners that are going to sharpen you, challenge you, and raise your acquisition game. Because when you're surrounded around committed players, you're not going to collapse under the storm. We're going to row together till we hit the next shore. Okay, I'm going to teach you to keep moving, even in the shadows. I've noticed that most entrepreneurs, they stall because they can't see the whole path. They wait for those perfect conditions. Meanwhile, real operators, we take another step. We send another email. We make another call. We move another piece forward because momentum compounds faster than waiting for clarity. Some days your moves will be big and they'll be visible, and other days they'll be subtle. It might be a private lunch with a seller's attorney that then changes the tone of that negotiation. Either way, the act of moving keeps you in control. It has been my experience that businesses, they do not promise you an easy road. Deals will test you before you feel ready. Markets will shift under your feet, and competitors will come for your position And there will be times you'll be one move away from losing it all. But inside the Fifth Avenue Underground Club, we're going to make sure you don't walk that path unarmed. We're going to give you elite acquisition frameworks, access to vetted partners and investors, merger and acquisition strategies that the textbooks do not cover, and a network that moves in silence but acts with force. It is about making a decision, because power is never given, it is taken. And once you step into this room, you'll never think the same again.
Love that. Well, there's so many things that you said. I just wanted to go back and mention you were talking about rehearsing mentally and being able to be in a room of people who sharpen you to have that support system. And I think that's huge. The drills and the tests and all of that, you've had the experience, you know what to expect, you know what worst case scenarios to look for, that you're not looking for all the potential bad things, but just the worst case scenarios they need to be attentive to. And to be in a room like that is just invaluable, obviously. So I think people need to really take action for themselves and reach out to you to join the Fifth Avenue Underground Club. Really, that's the next step for most of you, is to find out more about it. But I just wanted to say thank you, because there was so much. I wrote down a ton, but the fail forward is what I had been taught. So I know that was a big thing. In just every time you do something, you're going to practice it. And whether it's good, bad, or ugly, on those first ones, you're learning from it. You're getting that experience. So I love that about Reagan too. He gives great feedback. He's going to be honest and straightforward with you about what you need to fix, or what you need to, take into consideration, or what you need to totally toss to the side because it's not helping you. It's not growing you. So thank you very much, Reagan. That's very helpful. Yeah, so if you want to find out more about the Underground Club, you can reach out to Reagan on the website at 5thaavc.com, and you'll fill out a form and you can reach out to Reagan about that. We'll have more information on the website soon, and we're here every Friday, so you can hit the bell to get notifications when we go live. It'll pop up on your feed that we're live. So we'd love to have you join us again. So thank you so much, Reagan. I love all the information you shared with us today.
Yeah, you're quite welcome.
All right. We'll see you